Right, we're recording. Yes, we are. Okay. Asus X570 chipset, mini ITX motherboard, basically. Bought this. This is getting installed in one of my work machine, basically. I think it was mid-May 2019. I built a mini ITX setup with a red case. If you look at the history of my videos, you will find that. And that had the Intel i8700K processor on. Sadly, the board suffered from a power surge through the USB port, and it took out the USB functions on that particular board. So I returned it back to the supplier under warranty. They asked for about 3 months until they reimbursed me, basically, and that's when I actually threatened that I'll take it up with the big boss, because I know the big boss. And I said I'll pop over and just deal with it, basically. It shouldn't have taken that long. And they were telling me all sorts of fibs and all that. So ever since then, I'm not going to name the retailer, but I've stopped shopping with them. Now I'm shopping with various other online retailers, but them. Only because of the fact that out of the years of shopping and buying stuff, selling stuff, utilizing parts for my repairs, this was one return. That was from my own personal computer. So if they failed to deal with an issue like that promptly, then what the hell? Why am I buying stuff from them? In a return like this, I can't turn around and say to the customer that your board's getting sorted or we're getting a swap out and it's going to take 3 fucking months, right? Yeah, absolutely ridiculous, right? So you want to deal with companies where you're getting a quick turnaround on the warranty. Now, roughly, under the terms and conditions of the sale on the website, it quite clearly stated the fact that if you actually within 30 days, if they can't resolve the issue, they'll refund you, basically, or reimburse, or offer you a credit note, or offer you a substitute product. And they were asking about on that as well. So that went way past, and I wasn't bothered because I had backup machines, which I'm always, I've got multiple items, so I'm not sort of stuck with, an issue, basically. So anyway, long story short, after a long time, it's been about a year probably, or a bit longer than that. I'd say about roughly a year. Okay, since I've dismantled the unit and got rid of everything. But I think it was in the middle, like the early stage of COVID-19. Right. Okay. So this is what's going on. I've also obviously sold the processor, got a good return on that. Immediately after finding out that the board is no longer going to get back to me and it's getting scrapped or sent back to Asus, whatever it is. So I ended up selling the processor. So what processor have I got for my setup now? I wish I would like to have the new 5th generation AMD processors, i.e. the 5950X. That would be beautiful, but it's not going to happen. Right. So to complement this, I ended up getting the AMD 3900X, which is a 12-core, 24-thread processor. So again, that's going to be, and this is going to be installed. I will be doing a separate video for this, but this is purely a quick unboxing of this and see what's in there. Gosh, it does feel heavy. I'm telling you this now, honestly. This box feels absolutely heavy. So let's get in there and see what's going on. £300. This is what it's worth. I paid $269 with free shipping. But it's retailed between $270 and $300, $305. Some retailers are selling it for a ridiculous amount of money. Now, obviously, with COVID being in place, there are certain items like the graphic cards have gone up in price, like ridiculous. Some of the graphic cards were in the region of £150. That, I'm looking on Amazon and various websites. Most of the websites don't have any, many in stock, and the ones that they have, they're just ridiculously priced up, basically. So, luckily for me, I don't need anything beefy. I'm using I've got an NVIDIA Quadro P1000 series graphic card, which is the mini version, small version of it, and that renders and that does all the stuff that I need to do, so that's perfectly fine. It's just that any build that I do, gaming system builds and things like that, ouch, customers will be paying huge amount of money. Right, wow, that is heavy. That's heavy. I'll get your scale and let me get you. That feels heavy. That flipping it. Hang on. So that's. I mean, this is the heaviest ITX board I've seen throughout my career. I'll be dead honest with you. Wow. It's most probably because of this heat sinks around here, basically, and these are active. I believe there's a couple of fans in there, basically. So let's see what this weighs then in gram. 707 gram it weighs, basically. There you go. All right. Wow. Okay. That's a heavy board for, you know, basically. Anyway, we'll come back to that after. I know this board is probably a year, however long old. It doesn't matter for me. This is the best mini ITX board in the market, and as I've always said, I do pay decent money for decent stuff. Basically, I can't find anything. You know, there's a gigabyte version of it which is around about £205, but I thought I'll pay the extra and just make sure, because everything else is Asus Rog series in the case, like the cooler and whatever it is. So I thought end up getting this basically. So that AMD cooler. With the CPU, most probably get back on the internet and just get rid of it, get 30, 40, 50 quid back on it, unless I need to keep it for warranty purposes. Right, I'm starting throwing things out of the box now. Cable ties, it's about a handful of seven cable ties there. That will be a, let's have a look and see, that's an audio to a USB header, basically, which is a male one. Because I need to confirm this, if it is an audio. I'm not 100% certain this actually, but that's something. There's a couple of SATA cables here, a couple of more. That's your Wi-Fi antenna, Bluetooth, your rear IO shield. Feels premium, but I would like to have some backlight IO shields, right? That would have been nice with the type of price what you're paying for this, basically. That is going to be a header pin for possibly for your fan control, or, you know, RGB and things like that, because that's what it looks like. Okay, it's in the pack again. This is similar to the one what I had right at the beginning. There's yep, some sort of an audio extension or some sort, right? Okay, so I'm not quite sure what's all this. And right, okay, all right, I see. These are for the PCIe SSDs, basically, the screws and the standoff, basically. All right, so there's a couple of them here, and then obviously your instruction manual. Let's get these out. Instruction manual, CD. There's a custom mod cable coupon here, basically. Don't know what that is all about. That's your CD, everything else. Okay, there should be a sticker, from what I know, that there should be some stickers, which, no, they haven't. Right, okay, what's all this? Get your Rock Gaming World with, so there's something there, I don't know what it is, but it's something there which I'm not really asked about. So where's my stickers? They've stopped doing the stickers. I would have thought that, right, okay, I thought so, yeah. So it slipped under my arm, that. So yeah, those are nice stickers, basically, which I've already utilised, so I might utilise a couple of more. I do like them. Thank you very much, Asus, for sort of paying so much attention to detail. They're nice. When you put them on the case, they don't make the case look like a tacky fucking, you know, cheap thing. They do look nice, basically. So there's an element of quality on those stickers, basically. Right, let's get into the unpacking the board. Right, I will ground myself, because last board was statically damaged through USB. I don't want to be going back to the same problem. So let's sort of put this box to the side for a moment. I'm gonna sort of, let's have a look. Oh, no, metal bar. Yep, just touch something. Ground yourself by touching a metal bar. Okay, or a metal object. Okay, let's. Right, there we are. Okay, so I can quite clearly see there's a fan there. There's a small fan here. Let's see if there is any other fan. So there is one there for definite, and there is one here. So there's two fans. There's one there and a small fan here. Okay, now that's what it looks like from the top. That's what it looks like at the back. Okay, now very quickly, you got your couple of fan headers here, your DIMM slots, two DIMM slots, your SATA, USB 3 for your internal connection for your PC case. I would imagine that would be the audio, another USB, your power supply connection, your CPU 8-pin connection here. There's a lot of VRM, absolutely, and these heatsinks are there to cool that. You know, for something like this 5950X, and you go for it, 16-core processor, you can overclock the shit out of them with this board. This is why it's got a massive heatsink over the VRM section, basically. Couple of headers for your RGB here, and I believe this is the connector for the fan. These are solid state Japanese capacitors. I mean, I've got the Asus black edition that I bought back in 2014, and that has the similar coloured capacitors. So these are built to last. It's just sadly that the last board died on me for some reason through the static, which was a bit of a shocking. Right, okay. So this is your PCI for your graphic card. A couple of more SATA connection here. Obviously, that's your CPU socket. Looking from the side, that's what it looks like. Okay, let's move on to the back. Those are your audio connections. So audio output, microphone, and whatever basically. Two connections here for your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth antenna. I can see the BIOS battery there, which obviously gets connected to the board somewhere. Couple of your Ethernet port, which is these are like the gigabyte, whatever it is. This you know, various. I hope I've got the. See if there's anything I can input on quickly rather than just going on and on with it, basically. Yeah, it says it's just an Intel Ethernet, basically. So maybe when you look at the manufacturer's website, that'll give you more details of it, basically. Now this does, out of box, it supports the 5000 series processor. So what that effectively means is that you don't have to update the BIOS. It already has been done for you out of factory, that's very nice of them, basically. So if you end up with buying a board that needs flashing to support the 5000 series, but then you've got to fire up the board with a 3000 series, you're going to have a 3000 series AMD processor to even boot up this to sort of flash. That's my understanding. I may be wrong, but that's my understanding. So by doing it out of factory, that's just absolutely awesome. That it saves you a lot of time and effort, basically. Okay, so moving on to this, keeping at the back, you've got couple of USBs here. These are specific ones, and correct me, but I'm not. Let me just freaking yeah. So I've got 4 USB 3.1 Gen 2, 6 USB 3.1 Gen 1, and 2 times USB 2.0. Those are the USB. Now let me have a look and see what's on the back. Okay, so on the back of it, you've got your HDMI there, your display port, you've got your Type C connection here. There's a USB 3.2 Gen 1 times 4, and then there is USB 3.2 Gen 2 times 4. So there seems to be that I would have imagined these are the Gen 1, and then we're going to be the Gen 2, if that's what you're referring to, because that's what it says on the back. And then you get your, as I said, Intel Ethernet port, 2 times Wi-Fi module connections, and 3 times LED illuminated audio jack. That's going off the box, basically. So those are your audio jacks, as I repeat. Okay, let's go back here and see what the manufacturers are suggesting here. Right, okay, so it's a 2 times DIN, maximum 64 gig support, and DDR4 4800 plus overclock megahertz support. Non-EEC, obviously, the desktop PC don't do that. It's only the server memory supports ECC. Sorry, ECC memory modules. And let's see, second and runner, blah blah, VGA processor, dimmed, blah blah. So it just goes on. I'll go on the website. I'll leave a link down on the below for the manufacturer's website, basically. The PCI expansion slot is a 3rd gen AMD Ryzen. Okay, so it's 1 times PCI 4.0 16 times slot, basically. That's the PCI slot what we have here, and that's the only one what we have here. Okay. There are two. For the storage, you've got the Gen 3 AMD Ryzen processors, 1 times M2.1 with M key support. Okay, so yeah, there's two basically. One here, so you've got to unscrew this, lift it up. There's a bit of a silicon thermal pad here. You see the your PCI, which I've got the Pro series. I've got a very decent top-notch PCI. Obviously, this got the 3rd gen, 4th gens have come about, but it's one of those things. I'm not upgrading that PCI SSD at very little use, basically. So that's that. So one here and one at the back, basically. This already has a standoff pre-connected to the board, basically. There, right? Whereas at the back there isn't any. So you'll be utilizing those standoffs what's been supplied in the box, basically. Again, very nice of him to do that. Just imagine having two like the Gen 4 Samsung 980 Pros on SSDs for flipping heck. I mean, that's like each we're throwing out 3,800 megabytes per second. So you're looking at like 8,000 megabytes per second transfer rates. On what you're going to do with something like that, I have absolutely not. But you know what? Back in the days, if this was out and I was throwing my money on building up PC, yeah, I'd do it. But I've grown out of the fact that you can spend silly money on silly things. If you're not utilizing it, then that money is just a kind of a waste, basically. And I've learned it on the basis of spending. Back in early 2009, I spent huge amount of money on building a gaming PC. You probably look at some of my first videos and you'll find that. And then I've kept the case because I like the case, and I've constantly upgraded this, that, and I've still the gaming PC, still plays Crisis Warhead on 4K on a 4K monitor, and it's fine. I'm not going to bother with that. Okay, so what's all this? Right, okay, a bit of a rubber thing here. I don't know what this is all about. All it says the choice of champions. So heatsink. Okay, on the back, obviously that's the CPU socket. It's just to keep the socket in place. So that's that, and then you've got a nice rigid aluminium, metal, whatever you want to call it, just sort of keep these intact. Because believe me, this is freaking heavy. This is very heavy. Right, to wrap up this, basically, what do I think? I don't know. Until I don't put it on the bench, connect everything, I won't be overclocking. Now, some of you might probably think you bloody lunatic. Why are you spending that sort of money if you're not going to overclock it? I'm not going to do overclocking. It's more for rendering. It's more for these videos what I'm doing on YouTube, basically, and and that's what the purpose of and daily use for my business, basically. So and for personal use. So yeah, that's not going to be overclocked in any way. But I just tend to have the tendency of buying stuff that's good quality, premium quality. Apart from that, that's it really. There's nothing more to discuss, so I'm going to put this away, and I will keep you guys posted as I'm rebuilding that system back up again. It's a nice case. It's been discontinued now, and they're fetching silly money on Amazon, on internet. Very hard to get hold of. I've got both of the cases. I've got the red case and the green case. Now I can't remember the case name. It's just gone off my head, basically. That. No, I can't. I just can't remember now. What this case is, I just can't. But that's that. Anyway, never mind. Well, I'll update you on that accordingly. All right, so that's it really. Nothing much to say. Have a great weekend. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll catch up with you on my next video. Bye for now, guys.